Breaking for Bears Nation exclusive tonight. There's a veteran speed solution on the board that changes how Chicago breathes on first down, punishes on second, and finishes on third. Calendar urgency, December value, January payoff. Not a splash move for headlines. A football answer that travels in wind, cold, and noise. This is the kind of decision that flips the NFC North math by the smallest margins that win the biggest games. Here's the promise. Straight and clear, I'm going to map how one proven edge burner shifts box counts, lightens Caleb's backpack, forces lighter personnel, and turns the same formations into bigger yards. We'll talk cap logic, role clarity, usage by quarter, red zone sequencing, special teams leverage, and how this fit forces defensive coordinators to rewrite Tuesday's install. No names yet. No spoilers. Stay with me. You're watching Bears News Fan Report. If you believe in smart roster building, in details that stack into wins, tap like right now, subscribe, and ring the bell. We read tape like coaches and feel Sundays like fans because that's how Chicago shows. Introduction. The Bears don't need a new identity. They need amplification. Give this offense a credible perimeter threat and the middle breeze. Give Caleb one easy, honest answer each series, and the explosives arrive without gambling. That's grown-up football. Dictate horizontally so your vertical shots are choices, not prayers. Right now, the thin ice is the lane between the tight end and the numbers. Own that space and linebackers stop cheating inside. Safeties stop robbing crossers. Corners stop squeezing your splits like there's no fear of losing the edge. That's where a ruthless one-cut sprinter changes everything with a single plant and go. Football is geometry. Speed redraws the angles. Layer the NFC North picture. Viking fits love to spill zone force harder edges, and the duo world opens. Green Bay spins late-edge speed, keeps them honest, and turns slants into catch and go. Detroit compresses splits and triggers downhill threaten the corner, and their corners stop pinching. Same calls, better space. Same quarterback, lighter pitchers. Build the usage menu. This is not volume hero ball. It's 12 to 15 touches that matter, 7 outside zone or pin pull looks that scare the force defender, 2 design screens that tax simulated pressure, 2 orbit or jet actions that trigger checks, 2 red zone touches where 1 false step equals 6. Script by quarter, protect the hamstrings. Keep December legs for January noise. Culture and leadership matter. A veteran who has seen every front, who communicates landmarks to a young guard, who resets the huddle after a negative play. Those moments don't trend on social, but they win on the road. Chicago doesn't need another voice. It needs a credible one that buys the room in 2 practices. Cap discipline isn't optional. Incentive-heavy deal, playtime triggers, production bumps, light guarantees, clean pivot if the fit isn't right. You add explosion and poise without handcuffing March. That's how playoff teams act before they become playoff regulars. Now, the reveal marked the paragraph. The move on. The table is the Chicago Bears signing Raheem. MOSTERT. Why Mostert? And why now? Because he stretches the sideline like almost nobody in the league. He's pure one-cut violence with track speed and veteran eyes. His presence widens the front before the snap. That respect changes box counts, opens the B-gap for duo later, and hands Caleb faster. Cleaner answers against late rotation and funky simulated. Pressures without asking the line to be perfect. Scheme fit as clean as a winter sky. Picture 12 personnel wings short motion to a crack angle. Snap on the move, and force the force defender to decide right now. With Mostert's acceleration, 1 false step from a linebacker turns a crease into a race. Overplay the edge, and Chicago punishes with boot, glance, or the tight end over behind sucked-up eyes. It's sequencing, not trickery. Good calls made unfair. Third downs and protection are the underrated piece. Mostert has seen mug looks, sugar fronts, and delayed nickels. He can sort the picture, scan the threats, and beat a check release that turns panic into 2nd and 3. That's mentorship for a young quarterback you can't fake on a whiteboard. It happens live on Sunday and echoes in Wednesday's film. Red zone sequencing changes with real width. Orbit motion widens the front. Toss crack becomes 8 yards before contact if the corner blinks. And when defenses overcorrect, the Sith leak to your tight end is a layup. Edge stress makes safeties flatter, and flat safeties create throwing lanes for quick glance and back shoulder fades that don't feel like coin flips. Special teams is the hidden lever. Field position is the best OC in football. A veteran with return and coverage IQ gives you short fields, and a young QB's confidence stacks on that. Mostert doesn't just run. He tilts the board. 2 drives per game starting outside the 30 changes your call sheet and your heartbeat. Durability is a fair question. Build the answer into the plan. Script touches by quarter. Manage spike weeks with early subs. Lean into weeks where teams load the box and dare you outside. You don't ask him to be a calendar. You ask him to be a compass. Keep the legs fresh for 4 minutes and for the playoff push, when every yard as teeth dot the vision tape tells the story. Against Minnesota's spill, pin pull with Mostert forces a wider alley and sets up duo in the second half. Against Green Bay's late spin, perimeter threat keeps the post safety honest, which turns your in-breakers into run-after catches. Against Detroit's downhill trigger, threaten the corner early, then hammer split zone cutback when the overhang widens. It's chess, show the queen, win with pawns, usage by situation, practical and repeatable. Openers, 2 perimeter runs in your first 10 plays to time the force and the alley. Second quarter, screen the simulated pressure to tax their disguise. Third quarter, boot off the same look to punish overeager edges. For a minute, pin pull if the end sits soft. Don't bounce at the corner boxes. Red zone, 1 crack toss, 1 orbit widen, 1 T leak. Efficient football beats wishful football. Locker room temperature matters in Chicago. Veterans respect pros who run, listen, and stick to the script. Mostert's reputation around the league is exactly that. You put him in a room that already decided to grow up, and you get alignment. Alignment turns nice idea into Sunday habit, and Sunday habits become January invitations. Let's talk calendar and cap, because that's how serious teams think. A short-term, incentive-leaning agreement protects Chicago's flexibility and rewards real production. You're not buying nostalgia. You're buying a very specific stressor that multiplies existing pieces, your tight end room, your play-action menu, your over routes, your RPO glances. If the fit sings, you scale snaps. If it doesn't, you pivot with minimal pain, risks and mitigations on the table. The risk is asking highlights from a player whose superpower is down-to-down stress creation. The mitigation is crystal rolls, rotational honesty, and internal metrics that measure what matters. Extra defenders in the box forced by edge threat. Hesitations create in second-level fits. Explosives triggered by perimeter stress. Third down efficiency after check releases. Red zone yards before contact. Grade that. Not just yards per carry. Context for Caleb matters most. A predictable perimeter answer buys him time on progression 1 and cheap yards on progression none. The more early layups he gets, the more your shot plays feel like choices. Young quarterbacks don't need miracles. They need one less hard thing per series. Mostert's profile is precisely that, one less hard thing over and over until the defense snaps. Now. Reality check and transparency, because this is Chicago and we don't sell smoke. Is this done? No. This is an active, football-driven scenario that makes logical sense on tape and on the balance sheet. Not a parade, not pen to paper. A live possibility that deserves serious discussion because the fit is real and the upside is immediate the moment he's in your huddle. Your turn. Bears fans. If you make the call, how do you script week 1 with him touch count, personnel groupings, which red zone calls first, and who pairs with him in 12? If you hold, what's the alternative stressor you add to get the same horizontal gravity? Drop your plan below, make it concrete. Make it Chicago. My personal opinion. I'd sign Raheem, Mostert on an incentive-heavy deal, and script him as the perimeter stressor. This offense is missing controlled touches, playoff-style sequencing, leadership that travels. And yes, this is speculation, not an official announcement,